Hello and welcome to a miraclefruit-plants.com presentation. My name is Christopher, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the difference between a medium plant and a large plant, because we're asked this question all the time. A medium plant that we sell is approximately 15 inches, and this one's 15 inches. Anywhere from 11 to 15 inches is a good size for a medium plant. And as you can tell, it's grown in a size pot that's probably about half a gallon in size. This one, for its size, has 2 berries that are ready to be picked right now. Had another one that had actually finished being picked, or should have been picked a while ago. And whenever we have extra fruit, we just put them down into the soil and get new plants within about a month. It's a nice plant. It may have some brown tips every once in a while. And whenever you get a plant, you want to, understand exactly, what's going on with the plant and how it's reacting. If you ever see a brown tip, that means at one point in its life, it probably had a little bit of root shock or something happened. It could have been as simple as it got a little dry one time, it didn't have enough water, or we changed the pH in the soil. In fact, these plants were all top dressed with a little bit of extra acid peat to bring the acid level, or to increase the acid level or lower the pH. Okay, this plant wants to be in a 5.0 mix, and when it does become in a 5.0 mix, it becomes very healthy, and you notice it fruits even at a small size. So if you have a miracle fruit plant and for whatever reason it's not fruiting, it's possibly because the soil mix is not conducive for fruiting for that plant. Now, the next size plant we have is the large size, okay? And we only have a few of these available at any one time because it's much more valuable for us to keep rather than to sell, because look at the amount of fruit here. Just able to be picked today, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 red ripe fruits that I can see today. If we sold them, that's $50 or $70 of fruit, just retail. But if you look at the plant also, and we'll zoom in afterwards, you can see that there's probably another 100 or so flowers forming. Now, this plant grown in our special soil is only like 22, 23 inches tall, okay? And you can see the amount of fruit you can get. But the important part of a miracle fruit plant is not always just the height or the width of the plant, but the caliper or the thickness of the stem, the main trunk. And that will show you or give you some determination of, one, the age, but not entirely to the age, but also the health of a plant. This smaller plant has a rather close, caliper, and this is about the estimate of growth. You can see this plant's probably 2 years old, maybe a little longer. This plant's probably 2.5 to 3 years, depending upon the growth. However, in nature or also in a field or wherever you're growing your plants, these plants could be exactly the same age. Okay, it just depends upon the nutrients and the type of soil that you have the plant growing in. The better the soil, the healthier the root structure, the healthier the plant, and the faster the growth and the more fruit you're going to get. This is a close-up of that same large plant we just saw a moment ago. You can see that it has many fruits that are quite ripe and ready to be picked. It also has many, many new flowers forming, and when those are pollinated, those will turn into more fruits. And you can see it's pretty much on every part of the plant there are new flowers forming. Check out this down here. Look at all those. There's a tremendous amount on this plant, and the reason for this plant looking so well, good and producing so much is right down here in the soil. This is our special mix of soil. It has a lot of things added to it, not only science, but there's a lot of science and a lot of time and effort that went into figuring out exactly what this plant wants. The pH should be 5, it should be buffered in a certain solution, the calcium should be a certain level, with a lot of natural fertilizers as well as a little bit of inorganic fertilizer. and just the proper balance and nutrition for this plant. This plant has absolutely amazing root structure underneath. A lot of times you'll see other plants for sale where they don't quite look this healthy, or are probably, you know, much older plants than this, and they're not going to give you quite the amount of fruit. It all depends on the roots and, you know, rather simple care. With the soil that we have available, you'll see that the plant will grow much more quickly, have a much more dense and productive root structure, and all of that translates into more of these, which is exactly what you want. The bright red berries that have the wonderful taste-altering effect. Okay, every once in a while we also get a question of just how small or how large does a plant have to be, but it's before it starts you know, forming fruits. Now, this plant is 9 inches tall, or a little bit less than that. You can see it's probably about 8 inches tall with some leaves sticking up. Okay, we've had this growing from seed for approximately 7 months. Okay, so less than a year. And if you look on it, you can see that it is forming nodules right here where the flowers are going to come from. And in fact, there's quite a few. This plant was lucky enough to be one of the first ones we put in our special mix of soil, and the results have just been, you know, quite spectacular. If you look at the plant, it's a nice, dense, very strong plant with lots of new leaves coming up, and then there are all of the berries. Now, a plant this size, typically you wouldn't see fruit on it because it's too small. However, with the soil and the amazing root structure that's in it, we'll probably get half a dozen to a dozen fruits in, you know, in staged succession.